What if I told you that most of the advice you've been following to create a fulfilling life is holding you back? Sounds bold, right? But here's the truth. We're drowning in a sea of motivational fluff and impractical routines that look good on paper but crumble in real life. We've all been there, trying to journal our way to happiness or forcing ourselves to wake up at 5 a.m. because someone said it's the key to success. But let me ask you this, how's that working out for you? If you're still feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or like something's missing, then this video is for you. Today, I'm cutting through the noise and breaking down 5 pragmatic habits, real, actionable habits that actually work in the chaos of everyday life. These aren't your typical drink more water and think positive thoughts tips. They're grounded in practicality, designed to fit your reality, not some idealized Instagram version of it. And here's the kicker. One of these habits might challenge everything you thought you knew about self-improvement. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll walk away with not just inspiration, but tools you can start using right now to create a life that feels genuinely fulfilling. No fluff, no gimmicks, just straight-up pragmatic wisdom. Let's dive in. Number 1. Strategic selfishness. Prioritize your needs without apology. Let me start with something bold. Being selfish can be the most selfless thing you do. Yes, I know it sounds counterintuitive. We've all been raised to think that putting yourself first is somehow wrong, even shameful. But let's get real for a moment. How many times have you said yes to something you didn't want to do, just to avoid feeling guilty? And how often did that decision leave you drained, frustrated, or even resentful? We've all been there. The truth is, constantly putting others first isn't noble, it's exhausting. And here's the twist. When you prioritize yourself, you actually become better for everyone around you. Picture this. It's 6 p.m. and you've just wrapped up a long day at work. You're craving some quiet time to recharge, maybe catch up on a book or your favorite show. But then comes that familiar text. Hey, can you help me move my couch tonight? Now you know you're not up for it, but what do? You push down your needs, say sure, and spend the evening lifting furniture instead of lifting your mood. Sound familiar? Here's where strategic selfishness comes in. It's not about refusing to help. It's about recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. Saying no isn't selfish. It's setting boundaries that protect your energy. Now, here's why this works so brilliantly. When you start honoring your own needs, you show people how to treat you. You teach them that your time and energy are valuable. It's a psychological domino effect. When you respect yourself, others tend to follow suit. And guess what? It's liberating. You stop feeling like a doormat, and instead you feel empowered. You stop overcommitting and start investing in what truly matters to you. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I found myself in a similar situation. A colleague asked me to help with a project at the very last minute, on a weekend. My first instinct, say yes. But then I paused and thought, why am I putting their urgency above my own plans? So I politely declined. Sure, it felt awkward at first, but here's the kicker. They found someone else, and I spent my weekend recharging. On Monday, I was energized, productive, and even helped with another task they needed later. Saying no in that moment allowed me to say yes when it really mattered. This isn't about being rude or dismissive. It's about prioritizing your peace, your energy, and your sanity. When you embrace strategic selfishness, you reclaim your life. No more guilt trips, no more resentment, just a clear understanding that your needs matter too, because they do. So, here's my challenge to you. Next time you're tempted to say yes when you mean no, pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, will this serve me or will it drain me? Remember, prioritizing yourself isn't about being unkind. It's about being wise. This is your life, your energy, and your happiness. Guard it fiercely. Because when you do, you'll find that you're not just living, you're thriving. Number 2, kill the comfort zone. Seek discomfort daily. Here's something that might make you squirm. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die. Harsh? Maybe. But think about it for a second. How many times have you avoided doing something because it felt uncomfortable, only to look back later and wonder, what if I had just gone for it? It's easy to stay where things feel safe, predictable, and easy. But let me tell you, the life you want, the growth, the success, the fulfillment, it all lives outside that cozy little bubble. And yes, stepping out feels awkward and scary, but trust me, that's the point. We've all been there. You're sitting on your couch, scrolling through your phone, and you come across someone crushing it in life. Maybe they're running a marathon, starting a business, or traveling the world. You think, wow, good for them, I could never do that. But deep down, you know it's not that you can't, it's that you won't. Because doing something new, something uncomfortable, feels risky. And who wants to risk failing or looking foolish? But let me ask you this, isn't it a bigger risk to stay exactly where you are, wondering what could have been? Here's the strategy. Seek discomfort on purpose. Make it a daily practice to do something that feels just a little out of reach. Why? Because every time you step out of your comfort zone, you stretch what's possible. It's like going to the gym. The first time you lift weights, it's hard. Your muscles ache. But the more you push, the stronger you get. The same applies to your mindset. Each small step into discomfort makes you more resilient, more capable, and yes, more confident. Let me share a quick story. A while back, I was terrified of public speaking. Even the thought of standing in front of a crowd made my palms sweat. But one day, I decided to sign up for an open mic night. Something completely out of my league. My hands were shaking, my voice cracked, and I stumbled over a few words. But you know what? I survived. Not only that, but I left the stage feeling like I could take on anything. That one moment of discomfort gave me a surge of confidence I carry with me to this day. This isn't about jumping off cliffs or making reckless decisions. It's about intentionally choosing challenges that scare you just enough to make you grow. It's about rewiring your brain to see discomfort not as something to avoid, but as a sign that you're on the edge of a breakthrough. Because that's what this is all about, breaking through to the best version of yourself. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow, do one thing that makes you uncomfortable. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, starting a conversation with a stranger, or trying something new you've been avoiding. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be bold. Because the truth is, comfort zones are cozy, but nothing ever grows there. The magic happens in the stretch. Seek discomfort daily and watch your life expand in ways you never imagined. Number 3, time asset management. Treat every hour like $1. Here's a thought that might change how you see your day. Your time is a currency more valuable than money. Think about it. You can always make more money, but time, once it's gone forever. So why do we treat our hours like they're endless, wasting them on things that don't matter? Now you might be thinking, but I have to do things I don't enjoy, like work or chores. And yes, that's true. But here's the secret. It's not about cutting out the necessary. It's about becoming intentional with the rest. We've all been there. You sit down for a quick scroll through your phone, and suddenly an hour is gone. Or you agree to yet another pointless meeting, knowing it'll add zero value to your life. Sound familiar? It's like handing over your hard-earned cash for something you don't even need. But here's the thing. If we managed our time like we manage our money, tracking it, budgeting it, investing it in things that bring us returns, we'd live richer, more fulfilling lives. So here's the strategy. Treat every hour like $1. Start asking yourself, is this worth spending my time on? If it's not adding value, whether that's joy, relaxation, or progress toward your goals, it might be time to cut it out. And here's where it gets interesting. Just like saving money creates financial freedom, saving time creates opportunities for the things you truly care about. Let me share a quick story. A few months ago, I realized I was saying yes to every request at work. Meetings, last-minute tasks, extra projects, thinking it would make me look dedicated. But all it did was leave me drained and behind on my actual priorities. So, I started treating my time like a budget. I blocked out hours for deep work, for rest, and yes, for fun. When someone asked for my time, I asked myself, can I afford this right now? If the answer was no, I politely declined. The result? My productivity skyrocketed, my stress levels plummeted, and I finally had time to enjoy my evenings without guilt. This isn't about being rigid or cutting people off. It's about valuing yourself enough to spend your time wisely. It's about recognizing that every yes is also a no to something else, so you'd better make sure it's worth it. When you manage your time like a precious asset, you create space for what truly matters, your passions, your growth, and your peace of mind. So here's your challenge. For the next week, track your time like you'd track your expenses. See where it's going and ask yourself, is this worth it? Then start spending it like the treasure it is. Because when you treat your hours with the same care you treat your dollars, you're not just living smarter, you're living richer. Your time is your wealth. Invest it wisely. Number 4, radical rejection of perfectionism. Here's a truth that might sting. Perfectionism isn't a badge of honor. It's a weight that drags you down. I know. Perfectionism sounds like something positive. You care about doing things right, you have high standards, and you want to excel. But let's be real. How often has striving for perfection stopped you in your tracks? Kept you from starting something because you were afraid it wouldn't be good enough? If this hits close to home, you're not alone. Perfectionism doesn't push you forward. It locks you in place, paralyzed by the fear of imperfection. We've all been there. You sit down to start a project, and instead of diving in, you spend hours obsessing over details that no one else would even notice. Or you wait for the perfect time to start something, a workout routine, a new career, a passion project, only to find that the perfect time never comes. Sound familiar? It's exhausting, and worse, it's a trap. Because perfection is an illusion. It's the carrot on the stick you'll never quite reach, no matter how hard you try. The strategy here is simple but transformative. Reject perfectionism completely, radically. It's not about settling for mediocrity. It's about embracing the idea that done is better than perfect. Why? Because progress comes from action, not endless tweaking or overthinking. And let me tell you, when you let go of perfection, something incredible happens. You free up your energy to actually grow, create, and improve. I remember a time when I was so caught up in getting everything right that I nearly missed an opportunity. I had an important presentation to prepare for, and I spent so much time perfecting my slides that I barely rehearsed my delivery. The result? My slides were stunning, but my presentation was flat. That experience was a wake-up call. I realized I'd been so focused on the details that I'd lost sight of the big picture. The next time I focused on practicing my delivery instead of obsessing over every pixel on my slides, and the difference was night and day. Here's the thing. Rejecting perfectionism doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care enough to focus on what really matters, on moving forward, even if it's messy or imperfect. It's about understanding that every step, no matter how small or flawed, is a step closer to where you want to be. And guess what? Most of the time, people won't notice your so-called imperfections. They'll notice your effort, your authenticity, and your results. This is about reclaiming your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. It's about recognizing that perfectionism doesn't protect you, it limits you. So, the next time you catch yourself agonizing over details or holding back because something isn't perfect, stop. Remind yourself that good enough is more than enough. Take the leap, make the move, send the email, publish the work. Because the truth is, perfection isn't just unattainable, it's unnecessary. What matters is that you show up, take action, and keep growing. So, let's make a deal. From this moment forward, let's commit to progress over perfection. Let's choose action over hesitation, courage over fear. Because when you reject perfectionism, you open the door to possibility. And isn't that what life is all about? Number 5. Exit toxic situations with zero guilt. Let me hit you with a truth bomb. Staying in toxic situations out of guilt isn't noble, it's self-sabotage. That might sound harsh, but hear me out. How often have you found yourself stuck in a draining relationship, a toxic work environment, or even a one-sided friendship thinking, I can't just leave, it would make me a bad person? It's like carrying a bag of rocks uphill because you feel obligated to, even when it's breaking your back. But here's the twist. The guilt you feel for leaving is not yours to carry. It's a byproduct of someone else's manipulation or your own fear of rocking the boat. You know the kind of situation I'm talking about. Maybe it's that friend who only calls when they need something, or the boss who expects you to work overtime without appreciation. Maybe it's even closer to home, a family member whose negativity seeps into every conversation. We've all been there. The guilt traps you because you think walking away means you're selfish, unkind, or weak. But let's flip the narrative. Leaving isn't selfish, it's survival. It's choosing yourself over a situation that's slowly chipping away at your peace, your happiness, and your energy. So, here's the strategy. Exit with zero guilt. I know that sounds bold, but trust me, it's possible. The key is to reframe your thinking. Toxic situations thrive on your guilt, your fear of being judged, or your belief that you owe someone your time and energy. But here's the truth. You owe no one your peace. You are not responsible for fixing other people's messes or absorbing their negativity. Walking away isn't about abandoning someone, it's about refusing to abandon yourself. Let me share a personal story. A while back, I had a colleague who thrived on drama. Every conversation with them was a mix of gossip, complaints, and passive-aggressive jabs. At first, I tried to help, offering advice, lending an ear, being the bigger person. But it never ended. One day, after yet another draining interaction, I realized something. This wasn't a two-way street. It was me pouring into a bottomless pit. So, I made the decision to pull back. No confrontation, no dramatic exit. I just stopped engaging in the chaos. And you know what? The world didn't end. In fact, I felt lighter, freer. It was a reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply walk away. This is about reclaiming your right to peace and joy. It's about recognizing that staying in toxic situations doesn't make you loyal or strong. It makes you a prisoner. And guilt? It's just an illusion, a false sense of obligation that keeps you stuck. You are not responsible for how others feel about your decision to leave. You are only responsible for your own well-being. So here's the deal. If something or someone is draining your energy and stealing your peace, let it go. Leave the relationship, quit the job, draw the boundary. Not with anger or bitterness, but with clarity and courage. And as you do, remind yourself of this. Choosing yourself is not selfish. it's necessary. You deserve a life where your energy is respected, your boundaries are honored, and your happiness isn't compromised. Now, take a deep breath and imagine this: a life where you no longer carry the weight of toxic situations. A life where you move freely, unapologetically, and guilt-free. That's not just possible, it's waiting for you. All you have to do is take the first step. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope these 5 pragmatic habits sparked something in you, whether it's a fresh perspective or a renewed determination to create a fulfilling life on your own terms. If you found this video helpful or insightful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel and lets me know I'm on the right track. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're ready for more content like this, practical, real, and designed to make a difference. And hey, if you know someone who's navigating the same struggles or could use a dose of pragmatic wisdom, share this video with them. Sometimes one small nudge can make a big impact. I'd love to hear from you too. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts, your favorite habit, or even a story of how you've applied one of these ideas in your own life. Let's start a conversation and build a community where we can learn and grow together. Remember, fulfillment isn't about perfection or ticking off a checklist. It's about making choices that truly serve you. Keep showing up for yourself, and don't underestimate the power of these small, intentional steps. Until next time, take care and keep building a life that feels authentically yours.